It's the finale of the University of Maine's Homecoming 2025, and the Maine Black Bears, ranked 10th in the country, will look to get back on the winning track against the Colgate University Raiders. We welcome you to the Black Bear pregame show. It's presented by Hammond Lumber Company, family owned and operated since 1954. Hammond Lumber Company, the sponsor of the pregame show. Welcome into our Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth alongside Mike Toole. I'm Jeff Mannix. Jack Webb is our rinkside reporter tonight. And Mike, it's the first time in a year and a half that Maine has not won a game in 3 straight.
Yeah, it's very evident there's still growing pains with this team. But tonight, you've got to have a short memory. Forget all that. You get another game, non-league, non-conference, before you get into your league schedule next week, a chance to right the ship. And
let's get into our player spotlight for tonight. It's presented by Oakhurst Dairy. Kindness, goodness, Maineness. For Colgate, we go with the defenseman who won the ECAC Rookie of the Year last year. 2 assists last night as well in Michael Newmeyer.
Michael Newmeyer is one of the most exciting defensemen in the ECAC. His skating is elite, smooth, agile, and deceptive. He doesn't look to just dump the puck in. He scans for lanes, reads defenses, and creates offense from the blue line. He's not just a shutdown guy. He's a playmaker, and he's quickly become the heartbeat of this Colgate defense group.
And speaking of defensemen, with 2 assists last night for Maine, we go with their defenseman co-captain, the senior Brandon Holt.
Well, we saw Brandon Holt's full game on display last night, didn't we? He's smart. He's a mobile defenseman with strong puck-moving ability. He's known for blocking shots. He activates offensively when necessary. He makes clean breakout passes. He plays with tremendous poise under pressure and contributes on both ends of the ice.
Our keys to the game are presented by Quirk Hyundai in Bangor. There's never been a better time to test drive that Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit Quirk Hyundai of Bangor.com today.
First of all, Maine has got to raise their compete level, and they've got to get everybody doing it. And that also has to be a lot more consistent. I don't mean to say that last night's game was all bad. It really wasn't. And if you look at the tape, they actually played pretty well. It just wasn't consistent enough, and they still make a few mistakes. And that gets to key number 3. It's your habits. It's your details. It's the little things that are the difference between winning and losing in NCAA Division I hockey.
We'll be back for the opening face-off. The Colgate Raiders are going for a road split. The Maine Black Bears are hoping for the split. Hockey East on ESPN Plus is next. Hockey East on ESPN Plus. It's the series finale between the Colgate Raiders and the 10th-ranked Maine Black Bears. Tonight's starting lineup is presented by Martin's Surplus and Salvage. With 13 locations throughout Maine, you'll never have to say, I should have bought it when I saw it at Martin's. For Maine, across the front from left to right, it's Will Gerrois, Oscar Komarov, and Thomas Pichette. The defense pairing, Jeremy Langlois with Frank Jurasevich. In goal, Albin Boya. 4 games played, 2-1-1 record, 2.22 goals against average, a .906 save percentage, and 1 shutout. For Colgate, it's the same as last night. Up front, left to right, Simone Dadier, Easton Wainwright, and Owen Newharth. Same D pair to start as well, Michael Newmeyer and Isaiah Norland. But it's a different goalie in net tonight. The senior Andrew Takis, 2 games played, an 0-1-1 record, 2.42 goals against average, and a .929 save percentage. We're underway from Alfond Arena. That opening face-off brought to you by Maine Trailer, the official trailer and storage container company of the Black Bears. As it comes back towards the Maine blue line, Newharth tied up Langlois. Komarov on the back check, able to pick it up and give to Gerrois. And now it's Jurasevich to start the breakout. Frank Jurasevich, second year as a Black Bear, a junior, transferred from Merrimack. Max Scott couldn't get it beyond the linesman Shane Canale, and Brandt brings back in. Nagel drops that off for the shot by Napier that misses. Zone held by Fernandez, but he's bumped off it by Russell. Finds Peterson in stride, jumping in the play. Had Poirier going to the net, but passed in front of him. Peterson Sends back around. We've got a whistle, though, and a hand pass, which allows us to get to tonight's uniform report, presented by UniFirst, proud supplier of uniforms to the University of Maine and businesses throughout the state for over 50 years. Same uniforms as last night. The Black Bears in the home white sweaters with the navy blue, and the Curse of Maine on the front. Colgate in the road maroons with the white numbers and letters.
Excuse me, Jeff. Love to see Poirier on the net drive, just unable to get it to him. Had he been able to just get a stick on it, that's a tap-in goal.
As Lipinski takes over the puck. Holt with the shot. Takis, an easy stick save there. Friel battling Anthony Calafieri, getting his first action of the season tonight for the Black Bears. Number 28 in white. He's setting up net front, but Niedermeyer with the block. Friel ripped the rebound high. Lipinski tried to give back to Friel. He swept it ahead. Lipinski chases. Niedermeyer is there first. LaBelle to Panetta. Daniel Panetta, as his intended target was rubbed out of the play that time. That was Tyson Doucette. And now cleared up ahead, but Scholey unable to hang on to it. Back in comes Schneider. The tip in on Boya is stopped, and he hangs on. Nico Rexine had the shot.
Yeah, we talk about turnovers in the neutral zone. Maine turns the puck over, hard to defend. Now everybody's got to hustle, get back on defense. See Rexine driving to the net front. He does get a stick on it, chips it into the pads, almost squeezes through. Alvin Boya, he hung on. And a good counterattack in the early going by Colgate off turnover by Maine in the neutral zone.
So the draw comes to the right of Boya. Maine controls it. It's chipped up the glass by Jurasevich. Fowler reached out for it. Neumeier got to it first. Jurasevich jams at it again. Schneider gets it by him, but picked up by Loic Usero. First time we've seen him since opening night of the season a couple weeks ago. His second game as a Black Bear. Newharth, check that. Newton takes the puck down, but it's Peluso back on it for Maine. Nick Peluso shoots it. Takis forced to make a little bit of a tough save. Usero tries off the outside of the cage. And now it's Norland. Backhanded in by Rexine. Boya hangs on to the puck and hands to Usero. Loic Usero lets Chabrier take the puck. Brandon Chabrier. Over to Usero. He'll dump it in. Komarov on the chase. He whacks at the puck, but well read that time by Napier, who was able to force it away from the goal. Now back the other way with it, Simon Dadier. Chabrier takes over the loose puck. Up the glass and out. Pichette provides a little bit of pressure for Napier, who loses an edge and falls down after he let go of the puck behind the play. Luke Coughlin looking to get it to Pichette. It does work its way to him. Dadier got it back. Wainwright tried to reach out for it. Fernandez able to keep it in. Colgate, some good cycle work here. Wainwright gets the puck back. And broken up by Chabrier. They tried to set things up for Newharth at that right post.
Well, Chabrier stays on the right side of the puck and in a good defensive position, able to steer away that centering pass and prevent that from getting through to Alvin Boya.
15:55 to go in the first period. So we take another look at that pass breakup by Brandon Chabrier. Senior defenseman for the Black Bears out of Bayville, New York. Poirier tried to push it toward the blue line. Brandt strong on his stick, kept it alive. Now it's ahead by Holt. Russell to Scott, who plays in, but only as far as Niedermeyer that time, who gets it back from Malbuff. And this one might be icing. Nope, they're going to wash it out. Brandt and Peterson locking horns for the puck. Max Scott. Holt in a race for it. Poked at by Nagel. Around by Peterson. Niedermeyer able to hold in. Nagel. Max Nagel, he scored the winning goal last night late in the second period. Now it's Brandt. Brandt to Niedermeyer. That's broken up. Charlie Russell takes over the puck and gets it into the zone where it's quickly gathered by Panetta. Pass by Brandt, a little bit ahead of the intended target. Panetta didn't see it for a moment. Jurasevich able to take advantage and shoot ahead. Calafiri chases that down. Lipinski behind the net. Lipinski to the corner. Out to Langlois. He'll send around the kick plate. Calafiri behind for Friel. Thomas Friel turns, and it's stopped by Takis.
Looking for Lipinski. Stick on the ice. Good position. Just slides between his feet.
Lipinski back out front, and Takis with the save on Friel.
Yeah, good shift by these guys. Puck possession below the goal line. Horn sounds. Somebody thinks the puck is in the net. I don't believe it is. But good energy by this line. I love the play of Calafiri. This is exactly what Maine needs. They need all three guys on the line working hard down below the goal line. They tried to get it to the front. Quick shot in on Takis. You see plenty of white sweaters in there, and now they mix it up a little bit. But that's a good energy shift by that line. That's the Lipinski line. Anthony Calafiri in for
Miguel Marcus.
Miguel Marcus, thank you. Yeah.
First time we've seen Marcus sit out. Had a fairly bad giveaway that caused the second goal for Colgate last night.
Well, you got to send messages to these guys. You can say it till you're blue in the face, but all players understand ice time or lack thereof, and so a message has been sent. We'll see when he gets back in the lineup if it's been received.
Fowler down low. It hit a skate. Kept in by Coughlin. He's a draft pick of the Florida Panthers, number 10 in white. Shot around by Fowler, trying to get it in front, blocked away, and cleared that time by Easton Wainwright. Maine back on the attack. Peluso! Save made. Takis. And now Colgate rushes the other way. It's Wainwright shooting, stick to side, and out of play by Boya.
Well, clever play in the neutral zone by Chabrier. He turns one way, fakes the forechecker, gets it deep, and then Maine goes to work. Peluso, great opportunity, tries to go far post. Great right pad save by Takis.
We've reached our first break in the action. We're scoreless from Alfond Arena. It's Hockey East on ESPN+. Tonight's game sponsor at Alfond Arena is Fisher Plow. For more than 70 years, building spreaders and plows for waymakers. Learn more at fisherplow.com. And today's local business of the game, presented by the City of Old Town, is Governor's Restaurant and Bakery. Visit one of Governor's 6 locations across Maine for wholesome food and yummy desserts at prices your family can afford. Come to you from the Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth. Need tires or auto service? Head to Twin City Tire and Service on Wilson Street in Brewer, online at twincitytireme.com or call 207-989-TIRE. I'm Jeff Mannix alongside Mike Toole. Jack Webb is our rinkside reporter. Maine and Colgate scoreless. Already 6 shots on goal for Maine. Backhander by Russell, denied by Takis. That's a 7th save.
Excuse me, Jeff. What a feed by Brandon Holt. Comes in, jumps into the offense, slides the puck over to Russell in great position.
Poirier off the outside of the goal. Takis wasn't sure where it was for a moment. It ended up out of play as the whistle stops things.
And Max Scott goes toe-to-toe with Fernandez in the net front area. Knocks him right down. We get another look at. Here's the feed by Holt. Look at this. Beautiful job by Holt to get it to Russell. Got in behind the defense. Tries to go forehand, backhand. And I think Takis just got a piece of it.
Takis, a senior goaltender. He played the bulk of the games for Coach Mike Harder's team last season. So far this year, he has split each weekend with Reed Dick, the first year who we saw play last night and stopped 26 shots, I should say, in the win.
I think he made 5 of them in the last minute or maybe 30 seconds of the third period last night when the game was on the line. So Dick came up huge, and he goes with Takis tonight. But you're right. He's rotating him this year after Takis got the bulk of the work last year.
Takis certainly doing the job. His goals against average is currently the lowest of any ECAC goaltender at 2.42. Save percentage is up towards the top of the league as well at 929. Yet oddly enough, he hasn't won when the team hasn't won when he's been in net yet. A 2-2 tie at Boston University and a 4-2 loss to Canisius, in which the Raiders surrendered a third period lead and lost 4-2. That was 8 days ago in their home opener. Since then, though, 2 straight victories for the team on the road tonight. For Maine, it's been the opposite. They started with 2 wins against Holy Cross. Since then, a tie and 2 losses. Save made by Boya that time on Robbie Newton.
Bad turnover in a bad area that time by Lipinski, right in the middle of the ice.
Doucette gives it away, though, to Calafieri. Friel, though, bumped off it by LaBelle. Jurasevich has it back, gives to Chabrier. Chabrier able to get that puck deep on the diagonal. But it's Pineda to take it back, the Colgate captain. In comes Tyson Doucette. Chabrier takes a good hop for Maine there and gets out of the zone. Newmeyer back with it. LaBelle banks it in off the right wing boards. Coughlin ahead to Owen Fowler. Chabrier skates on it. He's bumped down. Crowd looking for a call. None coming. Scholey goes and gets it himself. And cleared away again by the Raiders. Peterson fanned on it. Doesn't know where it is. Colgate's got it back, but quickly recovered and turned up ice by Peluso. Peluso rushes Napier into the boards. It pounded toward the front. Well read, though. Picked up. Holt able to keep it in after Newharth broke up a chance. Holt to the corner. Sends in front. It's rolling in the slot. Colgate able to scramble it away. It was Fernandez getting it out of trouble, and a penalty coming on Maine.
Yeah, Maine's going to get a penalty at the net front for interference, I believe. After a brilliant play by Brandon Holt. What a puck possession play. Get to the loose puck, put it into an area where only he could get it, and then he went to work.
Maine number 21, 2 minutes, cross-checking.
Cross-checking is the call against Nick Peluso. So we'll take another look.
Yeah, watch Brandon Holt, right side. He's a left-handed shot, so he's got to get better position. He tries to throw it to the net front. There's Peluso with the obvious interference call on the defender right in front there, so Colgate will go on their first power play opportunity of the evening.
The Raiders were 2 for 5 on the power play last night. And for the season, they are ranked 7th in all of NCAA hockey after last night. 6 out of 21 for 28.6%. Maine, though, just 75% on the penalty kill. 18 of 24 for the season. In comes Brantz. Drops it back off for Newmeyer. Newmeyer gets it back again from Nagel. Newmeyer, Norlin, and Sullivan. Norlin down low, tip, score! It's Jake Brantz with his 4th of the season, and once again Colgate scores on their first power play of the night.
Wow, this is just a really good play as they get the zone entry that they want. That allows them to get the looks that they want. Right point, Norlin feeds Brandt. Look at the positioning as he gets in behind the defender there. That's Frank Jurasevich. He gets body position. This is a tap-in goal. All he's got to do is get his stick on it. Beautiful. Just well-executed power play, and it feels a lot like last night.
Maine out shooting Colgate 10-3, but they find themselves trailing 1-0. A little more than half the first period played. Pichette has it behind the goal for Maine, but it's quickly taken back again by Niedermeyer. Cleared up ahead into the Maine zone, and Chabrier jostling with Doucette. Doucette has the puck. Tyson Doucette, LaBelle behind the net. Simon LaBelle shoots it, save made Boya. Panetta, right circle, try to go back to the point. Niedermeyer snuck down too low. Malbuff recovers at his own blue line. LaBelle did not touch it, so that play results in icing.
So Maine makes a simple mistake in the offensive zone, takes a ill-advised interference penalty. Peluso just a little bit too energetic as he's battling for body position. It results in a power play opportunity for the Colgate Raiders, and they execute it like they did last night. Scored 2 power play goals last night. They get the zone entry, they get the looks. Maine gets a little confused in their coverage. Brant gets body position, and it's 1-0.
This puck looped up ahead, and it ends up out of play. 8:52 remaining in the first period, which will bring us to a break in the action. We'll hear from our rink reporter, Jack Webb, when we come back. It's 1-0 Colgate. This is Hockey East on ESPN+.
Welcome back into Alphon Arena. Maine obviously disappointed with the 3-2 result, a loss at the hands of Colgate last night. Now, we talked to Coach Barr before the game. He said when you watch the tape, it doesn't feel like a loss. It doesn't look like a loss on tape, but it's 2 mental mistakes on turnovers that led to goals. It's 5 penalties, making it 13 penalties in the last 2 games. He's looking for his squad to clean that up tonight. But right now, 1 penalty, 1 goal for the Colgate Raiders. Doesn't look like they've fixed that just yet. We'll see if they can. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Jack Webb, third member of our crew tonight. I'm Jeff Mannix alongside Mike Toole from the Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth. Power play goal by Jake Brant, his 4th of the season. Makes it a 1-0 Colgate lead. 8:52 to go in the first period. Maine has certainly had their share of early chances, though, but Andrew Takis has been sharp. Colgate comes to neutral ice with the puck. Holtz able to take it away from Newharth. Scholey on the shoot-in. Fowler on the chase. And it was Napier that got there first. Fowler around to the near point for Holtz. And it is Peluso turning to goal. Backhander, was hoping for a tip. It just missed the net.
Purposeful shot.
Fowler and Scholey tipped it, but Takis again with the save. Peluso to Yuzero. Yuzero, that one blocked, and it gets out to center. Newharth on that block. Jacob Napier with the puck. One of a few Colgate transfers on the roster. Napier, or pardon me, that's Newmeyer who has the puck. Michael Newmeyer, he'll bring that in. And that ticks off the stick of Peterson and wide. Friel finds Calafieri. He shoots in. Lipinski gets to it first around Norland. Peterson pinching. Up the boards it goes, but it scales the glass and goes out of play.
Yeah, just go back to that chance by Peluso a moment ago. He's on the backhand, but he sees Owen Fowler off to the right of the net. He's really trying to hit him in the stick or hit his skates and looking for a deflection. He knows he's got too much traffic on his backhand to try to get it through all the legs and bodies in front. So you see guys do that quite often. They're shooting off to the side. It's with purpose. That time just couldn't connect, but a good idea.
Norland up the boards. It does make it out with a little help from Brant. Chabrier shoots back in. Poirier on the chase. It's Russell to pick it up. Charlie Russell still looking for his first point of the season. Russell taken down and played to the blue line. Maine able to keep the zone for now, but now back the other way is Sullivan. Shot in by Max Nagel. Sullivan runs into his man. Scott goes and grabs the loose puck far corner. Russell stick back ahead, and that play is onside. Rexine got his skates beyond the blue line before he touched it. Cleared back out. Poirier has it between his skates, moves it back, and it's taken away. LaBelle broken up by Jurasevich as he tried to get it to Panetta. Colgate regroups at center. Shot in by Malbuff. As it's Jeremy Langlois shooting this one back around. It's Doucette keeping it alive. Glove down now by Jurasevich along the boards. Pichette able to get it out as he was being harassed by LaBelle. Komarov shoots back in for the Black Bears. Komarov scored one of Maine's 2 goals last night, the other by Justin Poirier. Langlois brings in for Maine. He'll wrist it. That one off the stick of Bobby Metz and out of play.
Well, 5:42 to go in the first period. Shots favoring Maine 11-5 so far. Maine is actually outplaying Colgate, but they make the one mistake with the penalty. They get the power play goal, and it's a 1-0 hockey game.
5:42 to go in the first. It's Hockey East on ESPN+. At Bangor Savings Bank, you matter more. We're here to support your goals and your journey and what matters to you. Visit Bangor.com or stop by to experience banking with heart. Bangor Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. And Let's Go Black Bears IPA from Orono Brewing Company is the official beer of Black Bear Nation. Fill your steins with pride because a portion of all sales gets donated back to Maine Athletics. 1-0 Colgate Raiders lead. Jake Brandt scoring a power play goal, his 4th goal of the season at 10:15. Isaiah Norland and Ryan Sullivan on the assists. Maine looking to get it back here now as we hit 5.5 minutes to play in the first period. Niedermeyer takes over the puck. Newharth off the boards and in. Chased by Wainwright. Holt, good job to pin the puck, and now Russell able to spring forward with it. Russell could not get around the defenseman.
It's a simple play that should be made. You just got to get it deep and either get off or go to work, but he does neither, and the defenseman's just able to pick it off the wall and turn it the other way.
In with this one comes Nagel. Norland sends down low, played away from the net that time by Chabrier as it was Wainwright who tipped it goalward. Newmeyer, wrist shot, does get through. Boya stops it with the right pad. Gerrois, Chabrier, up the boards for Pichette, but it's Sullivan to turn it back in. Nagel, left wing, cuts in, shoots it, it missed. Norland, around by Brandt to Sullivan. Sullivan back to Brandt, he scores! Jack Brandt with his 2nd of the game and 3rd of the weekend. 2-0 Raiders.
Well, Maine gets confused in their coverage, and Colgate just does a good job getting pucks to areas where they can control it, and then they finally turn to the net. And there's Brandt in front for the nice shot. Watch as it comes out of the right wing corner. There's Brandt, and look at the coverage. Is that Langlois or Peterson? I couldn't tell if it's 2 or 7, but Brandt again gets body position in behind the Maine D. Maine gets on the wrong side of their check, and Brandt makes them pay with a nice finish.
Jurasevich shoots it back around. Maine has accomplished a lot of what they wanted to in the offensive zone tonight, but they find themselves behind by 2 goals. Jake Brandt, the reigning ECAC forward of the week, now has 2 goals tonight. First goal last night was originally credited to Michael Newmeyer. That was changed this afternoon to Jake Brandt. We thought Brandt might have tipped it in the moment, but Newmeyer had credit all the way till this afternoon. That got changed prior to the game today. So Brandt now officially has 5 goals on the season and 3 this weekend.
Brent was our player to watch last night, and maybe we should have made him the player to watch again tonight, as you get another look at the play there that resulted in the whistle, as Charlie Russell makes body contact after the whistle a little bit. But Maine, you know, they've got to respond, and how are they going to respond to this? Now you're really with your backs against the wall. You got a 2-goal deficit to try to make up. You can't do it all at once. You just got to try to chip away and stick to your game plan. The sad part is they're still out shooting Colgate 11-7 in this period, have outplayed them during stretches here, but mistakes. That small things lead to big results, and you see what's happened here is Maine makes a couple of mistakes and they both end up in their net.
Colgate looks to come out. Doucette run into by Usero. Chopped at by Coughlin, and it ends up on the Colgate bench. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Renewal by Anderson, the official replacement window and door company of the Black Bears. Referees tonight, by the way, the crew is the same as we had last night. Referees are Terrence Murphy and Austin O'Rourke, linesmen Trevor Disbennett and Shane Canali. Sullivan and Norland have the assists on Brandt's second of the day. They also had the assists on his first. Here's Jurasevich shooting around, gathered by Max Scott. Russell, and it's Holtz taking it away from pressure. Holt, wrister, doesn't make it through. Pinballs to the top of the slot. Scott, strong on the stick, keeps it in. Russell can't collect the puck though. Norland around. Poirier chops at it. Jurasevich gloves down, puts it on his stick, plays to the corner. First to it is Neumeyer. Poirier has it, but intercepted by LaBelle. Simon LaBelle shoots in. Spun around by Jurasevich, who's got the puck. Holtz from behind the net. He'll be deliberate with it, and in fact let Chabrier carry. Chabrier to Komarov. Good play there. Giroir's shot is deflected out of play by Fernandez. Will Giroir, a freshman, hailing from Halifax, Nova Scotia, scored 30 goals last season with the Ottawa 67s of the Ontario Hockey League. And is showing some grit in the main lineup here this season. But it's Dadier with an interception on Giroir here. Komarov looks to take the puck back. Komarov jammed it back towards Coughlin. And Dadier gives up the pursuit. Luke Coughlin shoots around, but Maine was offside, so they have to tag up. Final 90 seconds of the first period. Antonio Fernandez gives away to Komarov. Komarov fumbles it, sends behind for Fowler. Fowler turns, but missed to the short side. Maine keeping it alive, and it's still in the zone. Chabrier waits, wrister, Takis the glove save, and he hangs on.
A little bit of a high wire act along the offensive blue line for Maine, but Chabrier comes up with the puck, pivots, waits for things to kind of settle down, watches he finds a lane, turns, fire it at the net, but Maine hasn't set up their net front presence yet, so Takis is able to see this all the way.
An offensive zone face-off coming for Maine. They'll send out the Scholey, Fowler, Peluso line with Jurasevich and Langlois on D. Scholey pushes it, but toward Neumeyer. And Nagel able to get it in. Neumeyer gets the puck, finds Brandt, dropped it off to Nagel. It's stopped by Boya. Couldn't trap the rebound. Peluso ahead there. Scholey to Fowler. Fowler shoots it. It's blocked by Norland.
Tried to use the defender as a screen to get it through to Scholey, who was in good position. Just closed the legs.
Peluso sealed the boards up. Scholey back toward the point. We've got a delayed penalty coming against Colgate once they touch. Here's Scholey. Brings in. Colgate establishes possession and play whistled down with 21.3 seconds to go, and Maine gets a much-needed power play.
Yeah, they're only going to have 21.3
Colgate
left in this
14,
period to try to execute something, but they will start in the offensive zone. It's going to start with puck possession. If you can win the draw, there's time enough to execute a play. It'll have to be a set play probably off the face-off. Let's see who he sends out. Looks like Max Scott. Got a good winning percentage. Holt in trigger position. And of course Poirier, look for him to come in off from the left wing side.
This Maine power play is brought to you by Versant Power, powering communities in northern and eastern Maine since 1924, as that one just finds its way wide. Friel was at the post looking to whack it home. 5 seconds to go in the period. It worked its way out front. Friel couldn't get it on net. And trying to get it out front is Max Scott. Takis makes a save as time expires in the first period. Poirier with a little chop, and Panetta's back behind after the net.
Well executed face-off play and won by Max Scott, so they got a dangerous play off the set play from the face-off and just not able to finish it off, but you got some work to do. A couple of mistakes in the first period cost Maine. They actually played a pretty decent period overall except for those mistakes, and when you're not going well, it's these little mistakes that you make very often end up in your net, and that's exactly what happened in the first period.
Certainly did happen there as Maine finds themselves behind by 2 goals. Jack Webb, our ringside reporter, is downstairs with Frank Jurasevich.
Frank, what's going on with the penalties right now? How do you prevent those?
Yeah, I think it's our discipline right now. I think we're just a little off our details, and one long shift, the next thing you know, we're in the box. So we got to shorten our shifts a little bit, a little more disciplined hockey, not just with the penalties, but with the shift length and things like that. Those lead to the penalties too.
What would you like to see from your team offensively here in the second period?
Honestly, and more what we've been doing. We've been getting the puck in well, forechecking them hard. We've had some heavy shifts. We got to keep getting to the net. I think our D got to keep shooting. Forwards get to the net, we'll get a greasy one.
Frank, thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Jack. Through one period at Alfond Arena, the score is the Colgate Raiders 2 and the Maine Black Bears nothing. Our Bangor Savings Bank intermission report is next. You're watching Hockey East on ESPN+. Hockey East on ESPN+. The Colgate Raiders were outshot in the first period, but Jake Brandt has both goals. And the Maine Black Bears trail the Colgate Raiders by a score of 2-0. This is the Bangor Savings Bank intermission report. At Bangor Savings Bank, you matter more. We're here to support your goals, your journey, and what matters to you. Visit Bangor.com or stop by to experience banking with heart. Bangor Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Now welcome back into our Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth alongside Mike Toole. I'm Jeff Mannix, and Mike, the Black Bears got some really good chances. They had some very good zone time, but a few breakdowns, a few mistakes, and they're in a 2-goal hole.
Yeah, when your game is just not where it needs to be, these mistakes get amplified. It's really, if you want my opinion, it's a hangover from a week ago. Everything that seems to be happening was a result of what happened Friday night. They gave up a 3-goal lead. I hate to keep harping on it, but it's kind of, Maine has been backsliding and trying to find their game ever since. You saw the result last Saturday, carried over to this weekend. And that first period, although better, unofficially shots on goal favoring Maine 13-8. But again, you make these mistakes and somehow it ends up costing them, and that was the story of that period.
Well, let's see those first period highlights, as Maine did get some very good scoring chances before Colgate did get on the board midway through the period.
Yeah, sure did. Here's Lucas Peterson. Nice feed. He's trying to find Poirier on the net drive. It looked like Poirier kind of stopped moving his feet. Had he done so, he might have got a stick on that. Would have been a tap-in goal. There's a redirect in on Alvin Boya. He's able to hang on. This is a short side attempt from below the goal line. A nice move to the middle of the ice. And here's Lucas Peterson. He just fires it past the left post, forcing Andrew Takis to make a save there. Maine had life in the offensive zone. This is probably the best opportunity of the night. Nice feed by Holt into Charlie Russell, who's just not able to elevate the puck from short range. And then this is the power play goal. Nice tap in by Jack Brandt. As he got body position, you can see it from up above. Look at how he boxes out Frank Jurasevich, gets inside body position, and nice finish there. And then they went to work, right back at it. This is Norlin, or excuse me,
Nagel.
Yeah, 13. Nagel, who had the game winner last night. And then this is an even strength goal by Jack Brandt as Maine get confused in their coverage once again. Jack Brandt, good job finding his way through the dangerous part of the ice. He gets inside body position again, gets behind the defender, and he makes no mistake from short range. But Maine had a few opportunities in the late stages of the period. That's Braden Charbonnet, who was able to retrieve the puck along the blue line, kind of dance through traffic, get it to the net front. By then, Maine had not had people set up in front of the net, so Takis was able to see that puck all the way.
Yeah, Takis doing a very good job seeing the puck during that first period. As we look at our stats from the first, Maine with the better of shot attempts and attempts on goal. Face-offs are better, but Colgate doing the job defensively, and that seems to be one real good strength of this hockey team.
Yeah, and their defensemen do a really good job moving the puck up ice from their own zone through the neutral zone. Once they get into the offensive zone, they get involved in the offense. They keep pucks alive. They don't panic with the puck. They move it to open people. They kind of get rotating around, and you see how Maine gets confused in their coverage, and you see the result.
When we get back on the Bangor Savings Bank Intermission Report, we'll hear a little bit from former Maine Black Bear and Detroit Red Wings goalie Jimmy Howard from the first episode of this season's Journey North. This is Hockey East on ESPN+.
So, let's start with your name.
Jimmy Howard.
Season Jimmy Howard, a ridiculous 1.2 goals against average for the year. The 5-on-3, Miller's shot is covered up by Howard right as the penalty comes to an end.
Well, as we all know, I played here for 3 years, and then for the next 14 years, I played for the Grand Rapids Griffins and the Detroit Red Wings. When I got here on campus, when I watched Maine play Quinnipiac that night and absolutely rolled them. And this place was electric, and the building sold itself, but I felt like I was at home when I was on campus. Grant Stanbrook, I grew up idolizing Mike Richter, and Grant coached him at the University of Wisconsin, and just the track record of the goalies that he has put in the NHL made it a very easy decision for me to choose here. Back when I was enrolled in school here, 2002 to 2005, like Hockey East was one of the premier, and it still is, don't get me wrong, but playing from top to bottom, there wasn't really easy weekends. Every weekend kind of being like playoff hockey, because it meant so much, in the standings, because they were so tight back then. So that was one way it helped me prepare for the NHL, but NHL is a little bit of a different beast than college hockey, so it's my 3 years here helped me just fine-tune my game to make the next jump, I guess. I just remember just totally being in the moment. Back then it was the Fleet Center, and it's sold out, but it was almost like white noise, like the people just didn't exist. It was just like, all right, just got to keep making saves because the guy at the other end is.
Three around, Deschamps, but a one-time redirection score! The University of Maine wins the longest game in Hockey East history. Ben Murphy gets the winner at 9:27 of the third overtime.
I don't think I've ever gone back and watched the complete game. Like if I see something on social media, the memories, start flooding back. I like seeing Murph score and go nuts and blow by everyone and just chuck his stuff. So it was just a great moment for all of us.
Jack Brantz has both goals so far for the Colgate Raiders, and they are up 2-0 on the Maine Black Bears as we get set to drop the puck on the second period. Colgate going for the weekend sweep of Maine's homecoming weekend as we're set to drop the puck for the second period of play, and that second period faceoff is brought to you by Maine Trailer, the official trailer and storage container company of the Black Bears. That second period is underway. Colgate in maroon, Maine in white. As coming out from behind the net is Holtz. And with this is Max Scott to Fowler. Scott works its way back. Holt has it again from Friel. Maine on the power play for another minute 10. Their first of the game, but Holt unable to hold the zone. Scott knocked off it at the center circle. Colgate got it only to the blue line. Maine has the puck again. Holt drops back to Scott. Max Scott whips around. Fowler and Poirier. Holt. Score! Thomas Friel from the tight angle. Maine is on the board. 1:02 into the second.
Maine goes cross ice a couple of times. Finally, it pays off. Thomas Friel, going to the right wing corner, watches it, comes out to Holt. He finds Friel, he shoots it right away. And Takis, I don't know if this hit his pad, we'll see it from above. Max Scott in front, creating some traffic. And there's the shot. Yeah, hit his inside of his blocker, it looks like, or maybe his stick. That's a good shot by Thomas Friel, but kind of a shaky play by Andrew Takis. But, you know, you put pucks on net, you make the goaltender move laterally, and things like that can happen. So Maine on the power play right back in this hockey game.
And now Colgate has it back. Nagel's shot broke off the shoulder of Boya and went high. Nagel once again. Sullivan make that Brantz. Jack Brant got it back to the point zone, not held by Napier. He gets it back in as the rest of his teammates have to get out. Luke Coughlin. Coughlin shoots that in. And it's Sholey to take over. And the puck pinballs to the near side. It's picked back up by LaBelle. Out with it, Doucette. Tyson Doucette fires back in. It's Sholey. Now LaBelle, Norlin, and Newmeyer. Michael Newmeyer around behind. The puck picked up. Jurasevich loses his stick in the battle. Norlin at the right point. He'll get it through. Didn't quite make it to Boya. Blocked in front, and Maine able to get it out, and Colgate will take a penalty.
Well, Maine gets their power play activated. They activate their offense, and now they go right back
Colgate,
on the
number
power
25.
play.
2 minutes for tripping.
As Doucette is called for tripping, and Maine with an opportunity to build on this momentum here early in the second period. As you see, Doucette takes out Peluso. So Maine in business here in the early stages of the second period.
Doucette out of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, a product of the Sarnia Sting in the Ontario Hockey League. Maine back to its second power play of the game, which is, of course, presented by Versant Power, powering communities in northern and eastern Maine since 1924. Justin Poirier back for the puck again. As the Black Bears advance it. Scott gets it back from Friel. Holtz, top of the right circle. Poirier, wrister, blocked down. Poirier has it back. It's Jake Schneider on the block. This one makes its way all the way down towards Boya. Holtz. 1:20 remaining on the power play. Holt to Scott. Scott enters the zone. Fowler continues the pursuit. And Colgate, though, will get it out. Fernandez on that clearance.
Well, Maine works the delayed entry into the offensive zone like a lot of teams do, but Fowler's unable to handle the puck once they cross the blue line. They turn it over and it goes right down the ice. 53
seconds in the power play. Poirier to Lipinski. Jaden Lipinski. Scholey to the near side for Poirier. Peterson, left point, back to Poirier. Langlois down low, Scholey jamming at it. Takis trying to keep it out. The net comes off, and it looks like the puck stayed out.
I really like this play by Scholey. I mean, in that position, you have to take the puck to the net. That's what he does. He's driving along the goal line. He tries to jam it short side as we look at it from above. Tries to go between the pads. Now it's laying right there. It crosses the line maybe. But the referee has blown it dead by then as Scholey's in on top of it. You see Langlois in there.
Well, you'll hear from Terrence Murphy here.
The call on the ice is no goal. The play is under officials' review to determine if the puck crossed the goal line.
So they say they are going to review it. That the original call is no goal. And that this is an official's review. This is not being initiated by Maine.
Well, this would be terrific if this goes Maine's way, because clawing your way back into this hockey game would be great for this young team and a real confidence boost as we get another look at it. Watch as Scholey just drives to the net front. He's a left-handed shot coming in for the right wing, so he's got good angle. He's going to try to go between the pads of Takis. Takis holding on for dear life as you get a pileup of bodies in the crease.
So the timeout for the replay review is brought to you by the official jeweler of the Black Bears, Designs by Aaron, where Maine goes to get engaged. As you see, our two referees, Terrence Murphy and Austin O'Rourke, over the built-in monitor in the scorer's box here.
You also see Ronnie Moore in the penalty box attendant, all decked out with a pink hat and the pink undershirt there showing through under the short sleeve shirt. Very stylish.
So you're looking at what the officials are looking at downstairs. So we'll see the overhead look. That'll most likely be our best one. I don't know. The thing is, that puck might be in, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see it.
I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it.
And the standard on a review to reverse a call is you have to find clear and indisputable evidence that the call should be overturned. I'm not sure they're going to find that here.
Yeah, and look at the referee's angle. He's right along the goal line, which is where he should be as he circles around behind. It's going to be hard to pick up the puck looking through all those bodies, and so not sure this one's going to be overturned, but we'll have to wait and see.
So the referees still continue to look. I mean, as I said, the longer this goes, the better that might be for Maine, but as I said, I don't know you're going to find the indisputable evidence to overturn the no-goal call.
Well, I like Maine's willingness to get to the paint, and Scholey does a great job. He knows that's his only play. They have, actually, Colgate's in good shape defensively at the net front, so Scholey recognizes that's his best option He tries to improve his angle, bring it to the front a little bit, and then really jam it between the pads of Takis as the referees continue to review this play.
Now we're, believe, nearing 3 minutes that they've been looking at this. Well, looks like they're satisfied now. Let's see what Terrence Murphy has to say.
After video review, the call on the ice is confirmed. The puck did not cross the goal line.
Well, it's hard to argue with it. I mean, we couldn't find the puck in that scrum of bodies, so. But Maine's got their power play working pretty well now, and even if they don't score on this power play, let's see if that reignites the flow offensively for Maine.
I'm sure there's some physics student at the University of Maine right now who's trying to work on some way to prove that that puck was in the net without seeing it.
Well, someday there's going to be a microchip in the puck, and you're going to be able to find out where it is through bodies. And I don't think we're there yet, though, are we?
Not quite, no. Lucas Peterson, the top of the slot, gives to Russell. Back it goes, another 23 seconds in the power play. Langlois, Russell, Peterson, Russell, Langlois, and Peterson blocked by Norland. 8 seconds on the power play. Peterson again, that one gloved and held by Takis.
Well, you had the net front there. You had Lipinski with a big body, and nobody's really pressuring him. If you can get a piece of that, that's a good option. And Maine works the top of the umbrella pretty well. The shot there by Peterson was kind of telegraphed, so Norland was able to block that. But he gets it back, and look at him wire it in there. Peterson tries to get out of the way of it and leave his stick there and see if it hits it, but he's unable to do so. 4 seconds left, so still time to do something if you win the faceoff cleanly.
Komarov takes it and split his own defenseman with it. Back towards Boya, so we're back to 5-on-5. Maine unsuccessful on that power play, but is 1 for 2 for the night. Jurasevich to Holt. Takis slows it down on the shoot-in. Pichette had it hop his stick on the backhand. Reaching out to grab it is Komarov, but couldn't get it by LaBelle. Pichette takes back over. Jurasevich back to the corner to get it. Holt drops his stick, but the puck still makes it out. And on it again, Jurasevich. Komarov couldn't hold on to it. It is Malbuff. Doucette back up ice with it. Now the shot is off the crossbar and out of play there, as that was a good hard little shot there by Luke Malbuff coming down the right side.
Alvin Boya staying pretty deep in his net as you get another look at this, and I guess he's out at the top of the crease, but last night the winning goal, I thought he was a little deep in the net. When a goalie's playing confident, he's not afraid to come out and challenge the shooter, especially if he understands there's no pass that's likely to go across.
Niedermayer's one-timer misses the net. And now Scott taken to the boards by Wainwright. And it's Dadier on the puck. Simon Dadier now loses it. Maine's got a 3-on-2. But Poirier put the puck a little ahead of Russell. He'll go get it behind the net and absorb the contact. Chabrier turns to his forehand, wrists it wide. Race for it. Maine unable to control. And it's Doucette make that Niedermayer backhanding in. Wainwright centering feed, but no one in maroon was there. Poirier tried to shoot it in, didn't get it very far. Now gets it a little bit deeper before Napier got a stick to it. And Napier has the puck back from Rexine. Now Jake Schneider Nice that goes. Back towards the point. Newmeyer checked by Calafieri. Around by Peterson. Bad hop off a referee for Maine anyway. Back with it is Newton. Scored his first of the season last night. We've got a whistle and I believe a penalty against Maine.
Yeah, I think this is going to be Lipinski for holding. We'll see how this goes here, but I think it's Lipinski that's going to pick this up.
Main penalty number 41, 2 minutes for holding.
It is indeed Jaden Lipinski who gets the penalty. So Maine will be shorthanded when we come back, but they have pulled a goal back. They trailed 2-1. It's Hockey East on ESPN+. Dean's Detailing has been Maine's auto detailing leader since 1971. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your investment, and enjoy the ride. Book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. And this broadcast is brought to you in part by University Credit Union, where Black Bears bank, and they want to know, how do you see you? Open your UCU account today at ucumaine.com. Federally insured by NCUA. There's head coach Ben Barr. The Black Bears trying to encourage his team. Probably likes the start he's seen from his team so far here in the second.
Yeah, I would say so. But, the penalty bug just continues to plague this team, and hopefully it doesn't result in another Colgate goal. But your penalty killers have really got to bear down, keep this game from getting away from them.
Is the Raiders' top power play unit out. Norland fanned on the shot attempt. That allows Maine to get a hold of it. They can't get it out, and the shot hits the post by Nagel. Ryan Sullivan loses that one. Nagel has it back. And the puck jammed away by Maine, and it does get behind Newmeyer and out.
Yeah, it's so important when you have the opportunity to get the puck out of the zone. The puck's got to get out, and Maine turns it over in a bad area once again. It results in additional zone time for Colgate and good opportunities. They finally get the puck out, but Colgate gets right back and goes to work.
A one-timer by Newmeyer misses. Sullivan picks it back up. Jack Brandt at the goal line, turns, was looking for the hat trick. Boya stopped him, and Maine clears.
Well, the most reliable defenseman back there is Brandon Holt, and he's the one that ends up with it on his stick, and he makes no mistake and wires this down ice. But, boy, Colgate is getting excellent looks in the offensive zone.
47 seconds on the kill. Fowler, shorthanded, just missed high. LaBelle drops that back for Doucette. Newmeyer double shifting on the power play. Gave that to Panetta, tried to drop it back to him, but he was peeling off for a change. It's lobbed ahead for Fowler. Owen Fowler playing keep away from Fernandez. It's still Fowler. Fernandez trying to muscle it off him. 15 more seconds on the Colgate power play. Panetta gets around Pichette. 5 seconds left in the power play. Wainwright, around it goes. Jurasevich turns and clears. Lipinski's out of the box. And Takis sends up the boards, not out. The shot by Pichette is blocked. Komarov tried to go back to the point. Holt with it now. Scholey, it's going to be offside, so that's why Maine is peeling out. And back the other way with it is Niedermeyer. And the shot goes wide that time by Doucette, rather. Tyson Doucette. Back behind the goal for Robbie Newton. Rexine down in the battle as well, and Rexine came away with the puck. Holt can't get it beyond the maze of bodies. Calafieri down there as well for the Black Bears. And Maine able to clear the zone. Peluso hard on the body check there, but couldn't get a hold of the puck. Peterson's got it. Maine wants to go quick. Holtz shoots that back in. Napier to it first. Scholey finishes a check. Coughlin couldn't quite keep it in. Maybe odd man rush here. Schneider's shot turned away with the stick by Boya. Back on it are the Raiders. Coming downhill was Brandt, but the block by Coughlin. Brandt's behind the net. Chabrier able to win the tussle for a moment. Sullivan has it back. Ryan Sullivan on his backhand. Throws to Nagel. And that's stopped by Boya on the one-timer by Sullivan. Coughlin was behind the red line when he shot that in. That is icing against Maine. So we'll bring it back down to the other end as we'll take another look.
Colgate, good rotation in the offensive zone. Watch this one-timer set up. Boya has to make a beautiful left pad save, kicks it out, and Coughlin's able to come away with it, but the rotation that Colgate is employing in the offensive zone is giving Maine trouble in their zone coverage.
Colgate controls. Chabrier backhands, but with it is Dadier. And Wainwright comes away from behind the goal with it. Chabrier takes the loose puck. Backhands around to Gerrois. Will Gerrois. Some nifty moves through center. He gets in. Rexine, pardon me, that's Norland. And that is off the back of Dadier. Finds its way to Poirier. He tries it. Hit the skates of a defender. And that's skied out of play that time by Colgate to get a break in the action. 8:27 left in the second. It remains 2-1 Colgate. Well, hold on. We're actually going to keep it here. So we look like we're going to the break here, but they are going to pull everybody back out. And we will keep going for the moment.
I think one of the things that we're seeing that's making Colgate so effective is their aggressive forecheck on Maine in their defensive zone, and Maine is having a hard time just getting the puck out because they're facing intense forechecking pressure from some pretty big bodies.
Loic Usero kept it in, but then couldn't quite hold the zone. He got it back at center and fired back in. And now it makes its way to Jurasevich. He gathers, gives to Usero. Wrister off the leg of Newharth and wide. Dadier up the boards and does get it by Jurasevich and out. Newharth reaches out. He's got it. Oh, and Newharth tries to cut inside. Boya able to make a save.
That's fortunate because Usero was flat-footed and Newharth just blew right by him.
That one makes it all the way down, but this will be icing now against Colgate. Buy official fan gear from the official fan shop of the Black Bears, Bear Necessities Fan Shop. Open 24/7 at goblackbears.com/shop. That's goblackbears.com/shop. Off the draw, Takis had to make a blocker save there on Russell. And back with it again, Nagel. Max Nagel. Maine looking to get a hold of it. And now Langlois does after it came out to center. Takis again slows it down. Calafieri, side of the right circle. Now with the puck is Jack Brandt. And makes its way back toward Takis, and he decides to hold on. And there's a little bit of a scrum after the whistle between Calafieri and Norland. It's starting to get feisty this weekend between these two teams. Now we've got a break in the action. We'll sort out the penalties when we get back. It's 2-1 Colgate. This is Hockey East on ESPN+.
Folks, welcome back into Alphon Arena. Black Bears have lost 3 straight games if you include the shootout loss to Quinnipiac, so they needed a spark. Give it the head coach the authority to make a change. In comes Anthony Calafiore, the junior out of Staten Island, New York, number 28, who comes into the lineup for the first time this year. He wants Calafiore to bring that spark, bring that toughness that you just saw, offsetting penalties between my guy right here and Cali right over my shoulder. They're talking, he said it's Cali's first game. He's chirping him. I think he's using my own ammo against me, guys. This is tough scenes right here. Sorry about that, Cali, but Cali's first game looking for a spark.
Thanks so much, Jack. As we get back going, 7 minutes to go in the second period. Matching minors came out of that scrum between Ryan Sullivan of Colgate and Anthony Calafiore for Maine.
Well, I talked about raising your compete level in the opening of this broadcast, and that's part of it. Get a little bit more physically involved and emotionally involved, and sometimes, you know, that's an acceptable trade-off. I'll take Calafiore for Sullivan any day, and no knock on Calafiore, but good for him. He got one of their best players off the ice, but you know, Maine is willing to physically engage here in the second period, and they really need to.
So 4-on-4 for another minute and 30 seconds. With the puck, bringing it in is Josh Niedermeyer, the son of Hockey Hall of Famer Scott Niedermeyer. LaBelle knocked off his skates, and it comes free. Gerrois pokes at the puck. We've got a whistle, and what for here? Not sure, but face-off looks like it will stay in the Colgate zone, or in the Maine zone.
Not a hand pass. Didn't look like the puck was tied up, but we're going to get another look at it. Brandon Holt doing battle there with Niedermeyer, and this is Lucas Peterson going at it with Simon LaBelle. Not sure what that whistle was for, but end zone face-off that has to be defended for Maine.
Easton Wainwright with the puck. Poked off his stick, and Maine unable to gather it, but now it's Holtz slowing things up for the Black Bears. 55 seconds on the matching minors to Sullivan and Calafiore. Jeremy Langlois to Holtz. Holt looked to give back to Langlois, went through his skates. Now Scholey, side of the right circle. Wainwright runs into him. That's still a loose puck. Finally, it's Wainwright who takes control. 17 seconds on the matching penalties, and now Maine will go shorthanded.
Well, Brant went down pretty easily, but Langlois did step up into him. This is going to be interference on Langlois, and it's going to be 4-on-3 for 16 seconds, then a standard power play after that.
Maine number 7, 2 minutes interference.
Another unforced error for Maine. Here it is once again as Colgate has the puck. They look to send it down ice. Brant never had the puck, and Langlois steps into him. A little bit of a cross check, but it is interference.
So Maine will be shorthanded when we return. 5:16 left in the second. It's 2-1 Colgate. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Chick-fil-A. Visit your Chick-fil-A location in Bangor today. And if you're buying or selling a home, call the official home team of the Black Bears, Berkshire Hathaway, the Emily Ellis team, and CMG Financial. These all-stars have you covered for all your real estate needs, and they make a donation to Maine Athletics for every sale. Tell them Bananas sent you. Black Bears shorthanded 4-on-3 for another 10 seconds. Then it's a conventional 5-on-4 advantage for Colgate. Both teams 1 for 2 on the power play so far. As Sullivan will rejoin the play and the power play, Calafiore is going to join the penalty kill. Maine takes over. Holt sends ahead for Friel, who's busting down the ice to get there. Holt out front, forcing a save from behind the goal line there by Takis. As now Sullivan gets that one to Nagel, and Norlin across. Nagel missed the net, and Norlin swept at it on the backhand, but didn't make contact. Nagel across, looking for Norlin. It was broken up. The deflection there, it looked like by Loic Usero. And here's Sullivan. 58 seconds remaining on the penalty kill for Maine. Nagel in the corner. Works its way back to Sullivan. Right circle behind the net. Jack Brantz. Back it goes again toward the point. Chabrier gathers and clears.
Terrific chance there by Nagel. Well set up by Norlin. They go right side of the ice. They go cross ice to Nagel for the one-timer. Fortunate for Maine, he missed the net. We know Nagel can shoot the puck as we saw last night. This was a missile, but wide.
Wainwright jams on the brakes. Back to Fernandez. Doucette. Antonio Fernandez. LaBelle behind the goal line. LaBelle looking out front, deflected away. Fernandez, 4 seconds. The shot doesn't make it through. It's a block by Jurasevich. Langlois out of the box, skating after it. Takis gets there and finds Doucette. Fernandez to LaBelle as Colgate advances quickly. LaBelle twists it to Fernandez behind the goal line. Holt leans on him. Pichette is to the boards for the puck first. And now Luke Coughlin takes over.
We've seen it a few times tonight. 3 guys below the goal line for Colgate. That tells me they are very aggressive on their forecheck. Maine has a little bit of a hard time handling it. Finally, they come away with the puck because Colgate has to change. But Colgate is unafraid to really throw everybody into the forecheck and try to be disruptive to these Maine defenders.
Holt finds Gerrois, and he gets it up the wall and out. Pichette, after a little touch from Komarov. Back on it, Napier. And back out again by Colgate. Peterson. Peluso knocks down the bouncing puck. And Komarov knocked down. Crowd looking for a call. None is coming. And a turnover by Colgate in the offensive zone. Peluso is hooked down, and a shot by Fowler's over top. Penalty is coming on Colgate for the hook. Fowler shoots it, save made, and it's touched up by Nagel.
Well, good things happen when you keep your feet moving. Nick Peluso driving to the net, forces the defender to take him down. This is going to be an interference call.
Colgate penalty number 28. 2 minutes for hooking.
Now they're actually going to call it hooking. Doesn't matter. This is Luke Malvo. So Maine gets their 3rd or 4th power play of the evening. Watches Nick Peluso, keeps his feet moving, driving to the net. Melboff gets the stick up, hauls him down, draws the penalty. 1:40 to go in the period. Maine will have another power play opportunity, a chance to tie this hockey game in the late stages of the second period.
Maine Power Play is brought to you by Versant Power, powering communities in northern and eastern Maine since 1924. Maine 1 for 2 on the power play tonight. Holt lost it out to center. Dadier coming in short-handed. Boya makes a save on Sullivan, but the power play will end for Maine.
Holt's going to get a penalty for holding on this play. He got in a bad area, and Dadier does a great job of forcing him. Now watch as Holt has to reach out with his free hand. This is almost a goal, folks. That's a really well set up play to Sullivan. He's got nobody really on him, and he's got a chance to just chip this up over Albin Boya's left pad. He's unable to do it, but that's going to negate the power play for Maine just a few seconds in. It's too bad, and sometimes, you know, you just have to take a penalty in order to prevent a goal. almost still resulted in a goal, even though Holt got the penalty, because Dadier was able to get his hands free and get it across to Sullivan.
So back to 4-on-4 again, which will carry over into the third period so long as we don't get any more penalties between now and the end of the second. It is Scott taking over behind the Maine goal line. Didn't have enough on it to clear it. Newmeyer, top of the slot, working his way to the right. And Norland falls down as he spun around. Langlois takes it. Final minute of the second period. Langlois over the red, into the zone. Langlois looking for Scott. It got deflected by Newmeyer on the way to him, and he couldn't settle.
That's a good look by Langlois. He recognizes what Scott was doing, tries to get it to him, just lay it out ahead of him. Unfortunately, he got redirected, never got to him.
Norland at his own blue, got it across to Jack Brantz. And now Panetta circles back in for Colgate. His attempt goes through the slot. Fernandez. Panetta back to Fernandez, chopped at by Russell. Jurasevich. Colgate trying for one more chance in the period here. Panetta couldn't find LaBelle, and the horn brings the period to a close. So Maine scored on its first power play of the game early in the period to pull to within one.
I think the real storyline here is Colgate is an experienced team who's unafraid to throw extreme and heavy forward-checking pressure against a young Maine defense. And, you see the result. Maine gets hemmed in. They have trouble exiting their own zone, but they do have chances throughout this hockey game, actually leading shots on goal 22-13 after 2 periods of play. But Colgate has been relentless, and especially on their forecheck, and Maine's having a hard time dealing with it.
Let's head down to the rink with Jack Webb, who is with Thomas Friel.
Tommy, what'd you see on that goal there?
Honestly, I'll be the first one to admit I wasn't really shooting that one. I was trying to go across the crease, but when you put pucks towards the net, good things can happen, good bounces can happen. So yeah, pretty fortunate on that one.
You take them how they come, right? And what is your team going to need to do to finish strong here, tied up, and hopefully get an equalizer here in the third period?
Yeah, I think we just have to have a little bit more urgency. You've seen it in parts in this game, and you saw it in the last 10 minutes of the last game, but you need to come out here at the start of the third and just bring it right away.
Thanks, Tommy. Jeff?
Thanks so much, Jack. We'll begin our Bangor Savings Bank second intermission report. When we come back, the Maine Black Bears have pulled closer, but they trail the Colgate Raiders 2-1 after 40 minutes. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Hockey East on ESPN+. The Maine Black Bears did get a goal back in the second period, but they still trail the Colgate Raiders 2-1 after 40 minutes. This is your Bangor Savings Bank second intermission report. At Bangor Savings Bank, you matter more. We're looking to support your goals, your journey, and what matters to you matters most to you. Visit Bangor.com or stop by to experience banking with heart. Bangor Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. From the Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth, that's Mike Toole. I'm Jeff Mannix, and Maine did a better job in that period, but Colgate asserted themselves again toward the end of the second.
Maine's having a hard time handling the forecheck like I talked about. When they have possession in the offensive zone, they're really relentless in their rotating and switching, and Maine is having a hard time with their D-zone coverage, and Colgate is maintaining possession, forcing Maine to defend and have to work hard to do so.
Let's see the second period highlights, the first of which will be Maine's first goal of the game on a power play by one of their captains.
Yeah, badly needed. This is going to be Thomas Friel as the puck comes around here. This is Brandon Holt with the puck, and the one-timer by Thomas Friel from the right wing corner, really deep in the offensive zone too, below, well, just at the bottom of the face-off circle. You're going to see it from up above, and watch as the puck hits the inside of the blocker of Andrew Takis, and this ends up in the net. And this is Sully Sholey on a subsequent power play, really driving to the net. This was reviewed, ultimately determined the puck did not cross the goal line. I'm not sure how you can even tell, but the call on the ice stood, and then Colgate goes back to work. This is Niedermeyer. He rifles one up high. Owen Fowler had a pretty good opportunity shorthanded. He whistles this one up over the glove of Andrew Takis. Colgate goes back to work. You see the offensive rotation getting it to people in good shooting position. That's Sullivan or Brandt, actually, I believe. And so you see the rotation again. You see the one-timer from out high, forcing Boya to make a big left pad save. Newhoff on the net drive. And Maine really having to work hard to defend, and you just see it over and over again. This is one of the best opportunities of the night. This is Norlin over to Nagel for the one-timer. Fortunately for Maine, this gets shot high, and this was the penalty that Brandon Holt was forced to take. And fortunately for Maine, that didn't result in a goal, as it was well set up to Sullivan on the opposite side of the ice. And you know, that's what we've got. It's a dogfight here going into the third period, but still a 2-1 hockey game. Maine leading on shots, getting some opportunities, but really having to work hard in their own zone.
And those are your stats through 2 periods of play. Better in a lot of those categories here for the Maine Black Bears tonight, but again, this Colgate team is really, really hard to play against, especially when they get a lead.
Well, Coach told us that Friday night. He thought they were a well-coached team, a well-disciplined team. They're a veteran team, and you know, you really do see the difference. Maine is still young. They're struggling to find their identity. I don't think they have an identity. I know the coaches would like, you know, they know what they'd like them to be. They'd like them to be like last year's team, obviously, and the year before that, for that matter. But it's yet to gel for Maine, and you can see it. And you're just hoping that they're able to find it before this game gets away from them. But 2-1 with 20 minutes to go, it's anybody's hockey game.
It certainly is. When we continue on the Bangor Savings Bank Intermission Report, we'll take a look at the Hockey East plays of the week. You're watching Hockey East on ESPN+.
It's going to be a chance. Bobcats with a breakaway. Here's Moreau in for the win. Stop by Boya. 1 second to go, and this one ends in a tie.
Rebound from Yusuf, back to Murray. And he can't handle the pass. And Connor will swipe it away. Connor on a 2-on-1. Connor attacks, backhand, goal. Oh, what a beauty. On the mistake, Joe Connor gets his 3rd of the season, and it's a 2-0 Huskies lead.
Sorry, a blocker save by Slukinski. Got another chance, but it's only again. He scores! Incredible save on the first one, and then Diego Barazzoni got another chance.
William Samaki cleared it, and here come the Huskies. Murtagh over the line on his off wing, turning the corner, driving the net. He scores! Mike Murtagh with a burst, and he has his first collegiate goal.
And then push the other way, and they've got numbers. Tornquist for Kessler. Here he comes in, kick save, rebound, Tornquist scores. And it's an overtime win for Vermont. They had numbers. Shostak made the initial save. And then the rebound was right there for the Pounce.
Hockey East on ESPN Plus as we return to Alfond Arena, about ready to begin the third period between the Colgate Raiders and the 10th-ranked Maine Black Bears. Colgate going for the sweep, and they are up 2-1 through 40 minutes. Let's get to our University Credit Union Black Bear quote of the week, again presented by University Credit Union. It's from the sophomore goalie from the women's hockey team, Kia Lottinen, about the 2-1 win last Saturday for Maine against the 8th-ranked Colgate women's team. Lottinen says, "I'm really proud of how we showed up on Saturday. We competed hard the whole game, created good scoring chances, and played strong defensively to secure the win. I'm excited about this team and the steps we've taken so far. I can't wait to carry this energy into conference games." Kia Lottinen with our UCU Black Bear quote of the week. Now let's take a spin around Hockey East, presented by Citgo. Citgo top-tier tri-clean gasoline gets you where you're going. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. You see the scores here from around Hockey East today. 3 final already. UMass Lowell came back to sweep Mercyhurst. They trailed most of the way there. Boston University lost at home, giving up 8 goals to UConn last night, but they win in Stores today, 3-1. Long Island defeats Merrimack 5-2. They scored 3 times late, including twice into an empty net. Quinnipiac leading at UNH as they get the third period going. Denver scored 7 last night at Boston College, and they're being shut out through 40 minutes at Northeastern tonight. Meanwhile, Providence losing 3-1 at St. Thomas, at St. Thomas University's brand new facility that opened up this weekend.
Well, you get the feeling anybody can beat anybody on any given night. I mean, it's just been crazy in the early going of this season. And yeah, probably a lot of new faces, just like what Maine's facing here. You know, you assimilate these guys into your system, into your program, and you get uneven results in the early going until guys start to figure it out. And Maine is a great example of that. Yeah. We're seeing it here again this weekend. But as I said before, it's only 2-1. You're in a position to come back, and you just got to bear down and find your game. I know we've been saying it all weekend, or at least I have.
Maine,
kind of a teachable moment here,
yes,
Jeff.
Yes, it absolutely is. And of course, this game is the last one out of conference before Maine begins its Hockey East season next weekend. And boy, oh boy, what a challenge. It's the team that is picked to win Hockey East this year, Boston University, that is coming to town for Halloween weekend.
Yeah, and if they play an uneven game like they have in the last these 2 games, that we've seen this weekend, of course the third period is yet to unfold, and if Maine can find their game, then I like their chances. But if they play the way we've seen the last couple of weeks, it's going to be a tall order to beat Boston University, even at home.
Yeah, certainly will be here. BU did get back on the winning track again today. They started this season with a win and a tie against Colgate. Then after that, 2 losses to Michigan State last weekend. They opened up Hockey East play with a split against UConn. We're set for the third period opening face-off, which is presented by Maine Trailer, the official trailer and storage container company of the Black Bears. Maine down by 1, looking to find the equalizer to split the weekend as Colgate takes a hold of it, as that's Jack Brantz giving the puck back to Michael Newmeyer. There's still another 8 seconds left on a Colgate power play. Norland brings in Brandt. They get it across. Sullivan gets the pass from Nagel. Sullivan shoots it. Boya the save. Can't gather the rebound. Jurasevich has it and skies it out as we're back to 5-on-5.
Now, you can't allow these long cross-ice passes in your own zone that result in shots on Albin Boya, because you're asking a lot of your goaltender to track a puck. And, to track a puck that far and move so far laterally against, an offense that generates these one-time opportunities. Fortunate for Maine, they've not been accurate a lot of times on these cross-ice one-timers, but man, you just cannot allow that to continue to happen.
So that short power play unsuccessful for Colgate, so they're 1 for 4 on the evening now, and Maine is going to send out what Ben Barr has considered his most consistent line so far this season, that grinding line of Giroux, Komarov, and Pichette. All three of them have registered goals this season.
Yeah, and this is the only line that is consistently played to the identity that Maine hockey wants to have, which is, you know, simple plays, get the puck deep, go in hard on the forecheck, create turnovers, and then it's pucks and bodies to the net.
And Coughlin dove over a stick there. Crowd wants a penalty. It will not come. Chabrier can't hang on to the puck here as it works its way back beyond the Maine blue line. Coughlin around to Giroux. Is knocked free from him, but regathered by Coughlin. Luke Coughlin playing his first games for Maine this weekend. Put in the lineup for the first time last night by Coach Ben Barr. Here is Poirier with the quick shot, forcing a save by Takis.
Sneaky shot, just wide. Quick release. I tried to get Takis leaning, and he was a little bit, but missed it far to the left side of the net.
And turning around, Panetta to get it back ahead. Peterson crunched hard by LaBelle, and Maine scores! Justin Poirier drives the net and ties the game at 2.
Lucas Peterson takes a hard hit along the wall. Sometimes you got to take a hit to make a play, and then you get Poirier driving to the net. Great finish. Looking at it once again, they get it in over the line as Peterson gets wasted against the wall there. But watch Poirier pick up the puck, moves a little bit, freezes Takis, moves to his right. He's on his forehand. Takis is at his mercy, and it's a great finish by Poirier. Kind of an odd bounce. How did that puck come out to him in the middle of the ice there off the end wall? And
that puck looked like it took an Alphon hop off a glass stanchion there. Just a funny deflection back out front. Takis was going back behind the net to play it, and it hopped back out for a 2-on-0.
Yeah, we see it down the other end quite often, but you don't see it on this end very often, and Maine is the recipient of a home ice bounce, and great positioning by Poirier. He makes no mistake and ties this hockey game an even strength goal with a lot of time left.
Justin Poirier has scored 50 goals in the QMJHL once. He scored more than 40 last season with the Baie-Comeau Drakkar. Now he's got 5 in his first 6 games as a college player. Jurasevich plays the puck forward. Maine now on even footing for the first time since midway through the first period. Puck makes it all the way down, and we do get the icing whistle.
This game, you know, they say it builds character. Actually, it reveals character. And this is going to go a long way to, if they can come back in the third period, you know, keep the crowd involved, build on this momentum. This will repair a lot of damage that's been done over the last couple of games. So the next couple of minutes are critical because you're in the driver's seat right now in terms of momentum with the puck, and you've got to build on it.
Rexine is taken down as it's Friel who dumps in, but right to Niedermeyer, or to Newmeyer. And Lipinski able to knock the puck free. Pardon me, that was Lipinski. Calafieri shoots back around. Lipinski collected on the backhand, but lost the handle of it. Newmeyer. Rexine chopped down by Chabrier. The puck continuing to bounce around the blue line. Coughlin has it finally. Good play to Lipinski, tries to skate in. Lipinski drops it back off. Chabrier, shot, save, big rebound. Pichette fanned on that attempt. Shot back in again by Colgate. They need to change out. So does some of the Maine players. Jurasevich from behind the goal for Maine. Advances up the middle. Komarov on the right. Komarov Gets it deeper for Gerrois, but it's Fernandez getting to Nagel. Nagel sends up ahead. Boya plays this one. Backhands towards Langlois. Pichette couldn't catch that in stride and doesn't quite have enough on it for icing. Sullivan able to find neutral ice. Gerrois to Langlois, and it's Jurasevich. Langlois once again, or Gerrois, pardon me. Nagel back up to center. Jurasevich. And Langlois has to reverse for Jurasevich. Nearly 5 minutes gone in the third period. Justin Poirier has tied the score, 2-2. Maine trailed 2-0 after one, 2-1 after two, now even. Lucas Peterson, who set up the goal. Now Scott got it to Russell, who somehow got denied by Andrew Takis on a great left-to-right push.
Well, it's a broken play, and it works out for Maine. Scott doesn't get the play he wants. It ends up at his feet. He gets it to Russell. He tries to jam it from there. Look as this play gets broken down. Peterson, now Scott, and it doesn't end up where he wants it, but he's able to gather the puck, get it over to Russell. Russell really gripping his stick tight. It just seems like this guy can't buy a goal. He's been in good position a couple times this weekend, unable to finish. But staying with it was Max Scott. After the play sort of started to break down, he got it to the guy, the best option, and Russell was in good position, unable to finish, but a good opportunity there to take the lead in this hockey game for only the second time. I think they led after 2 periods or 1 period last night, right? After the first, it was 2-1.
Yep.
They have not tasted the lead since.
Peterson, Takis gloves down as it was pretty much at his head. He'll hang on. Get an inside look at Black Bear Athletics at the Black Bear Coaches Show Wednesday night at 6 at the Sea Dog Brewing Company in Bangor. If you can't make it in person, tune in on the Black Bear Sports Network, the Black Bear Nation app, or goblackbears.com. Scholey to take the draw against Wainwright. To the left of Takis in the Colgate zone. Norland to Newmeyer. Up the boards. Good play by Dottier to Wainwright. Wainwright rushes into the zone, lost the handle. Dottier trailing, picked it up, now loses it. Maine's got numbers. Peluso, right wing, centers it, but behind Scholey. Coughlin busting to get back in the play. Broken up, though, by Colgate, and they've got the puck again, but it missed Wainwright. Should be icing, and is.
Yeah, good back checking there by Owen Fowler, which creates the turnover, which Maine, as you said, had numbers. Now they're heading up the ice, but the pass over was really nowhere near Sully Scholey. I mean, that pass has got to be better. You got a good opportunity to take the lead in this hockey game from the hard work on the back check by Owen Fowler, and just a little bit lax on the execution.
Puck still loose on the dot. Finally, Norland, the 6'6" defenseman, gets a hold of it. Langlois, Friel to open space as Lipinski chases it down. Calafieri, left circle, turning, shoots it. Takis the save. Langlois down into the corner. Langlois keeping it alive. He tries it, it's blocked. And Langlois again keeps the puck deep in the zone, but a penalty coming on Maine.
Oh, you want guys to be aggressive, but you really got to stay out of the penalty box. Good job by Langlois to keep pucks alive, stay with it, stay with the play, but Maine is going to pick up the penalty. It might be Calafieri. Call going to be boarding. We'll see what the call is, but I think that's what it is.
Maine number 29, 2 minutes, boarding.
So Maine will be shorthanded again when we return. It's 2-2. It's Hockey East on ESPN+. This game is brought to you in part by Dirigo Pines, where it's not like home, it is home. The Irigo Pines make senior living simple. Start planning your retirement today by contacting Jenna Bean to schedule a visit. Today's game is brought to you in part by UniFirst, proud supplier of uniforms to the University of Maine and businesses throughout the state for over 50 years. And Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is a local family-owned company that has been serving Maine communities for over 40 years. Proudly voted Bangor's best cleaning and restoration company since 2015.
We got a review underway here, Jeff, and I don't know if they're thinking about adding or changing the call on Calafieri to a major, or whether there was a subsequent hit. I thought I saw a Colgate player come in after, and maybe there's another penalty. I didn't see what initiated it, whether it was Maine asking for it, or whether the officials are just looking at to upgrade Calafieri to a major. Going to get another look here. Now, this is the original call. And if they get contact to the head again, see, there's the second hit. And this could also be a penalty against Colgate. This may even things up, but I suspect they're looking at whether Calafieri caused the player to hit his head against the glass, which would upgrade this to a major potentially.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, certainly there was not a whole lot of space between Michael Newmeyer and the boards when Calafieri finished that hit off. It was definitely from behind. Boarding was the call. So, and again, we did not hear whether this was initiated by Colgate or whether this is an official review on their own. Let's take, this is from the reverse angle.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly a penalty. Pushes him from behind into the wall. Now watch the second hit. Now that's not going to be a penalty. I think they're going to look at whether this should be upgraded to a major. They're certainly taking their time down there.
They are.
Man, you got to be so careful at this stage of the hockey game, particularly. I mean, you want aggression if you're a coach. You want your guys to be aggressive, but you just have to be careful about overdoing it.
Here's our call.
After review of a coach's challenge, it was determined it was a minor penalty. 28 White will still be in there for 2 minutes for boarding.
So that was a Colgate-initiated challenge.
Okay, so they'll lose their timeout, which may be useful in the last few seconds of a close hockey game. It may work out for Maine.
That timeout brought to you by the official jeweler of the Black Bears, Designs by Aaron, where Maine goes to get engaged. Decent challenge there. Good opportunity there for Mike Harder. I don't blame him. On the road in a tie game in the third period. A 5-minute man advantage would be a big difference for his team.
It would be huge for them, but still they get the power play opportunity and the chance to take the lead back in this hockey game as the clock winds down. 13 minutes plus still left in this game, so a lot of time left, but Maine just cannot continue to beat a worn path to the penalty bench.
Jack Brandt has scored the power play goal. He's scored 2 total tonight, 3 for the weekend. Number 14 in the maroon and white. He's set up on the left wing side near the red line right now as it's carried in by Newmeyer. And now Brandt has the puck, but he couldn't handle it cleanly, and that allows Jurasevich to clear.
Yeah, good work by Jurasevich. He tracks the puck. It ends up at his feet. He stays with it, wires it down ice. He's facing 2 forwards, so kind of a 2-on-1 situation, but stands his ground and gets good body position.
Newmeyer sent behind the net. Norland has to go retrieve it. Jurasevich takes Nagel to the boards. Langlois picks it up, chips ahead, and finds Russell. It's 2-on-1 if they hurry. Fowler, men getting back though. Fowler saved Takis. Russell has it. Russell now we'll just try to kill some time. 34 more seconds left on the Calafieri minor.
That's a really good play by Langlois down behind the goal. Subtle little play, 2 forecheckers on him, as I've been saying. They're really not afraid to send multiple guys in hard on the forecheck, but Langlois, just a calm play, chips it to space, able to send it down ice and actually get a 2-on-1 briefly.
Takis gives to LaBelle, who's bumped just enough by Pichette to get the puck off him. Calafieri comes out of the penalty box. A successful penalty kill for Maine. Colgate now 1 for 5 on the power play. Chabrier picks it up near side. Panetta continues battling. And Scott comes away with it. Max Scott, not enough on that pass. Fernandez stepped up, but Scott stepped into him. Max Scott. And penalty coming. This one will be on the Raiders. Poirier. Boya heading to the bench for the extra attacker on the delayed penalty. Poirier will cut it back and give to Chabrier. And we'll try to get as much 6-on-5 time as they can.
Yeah, good idea. Get back, everybody get settled, and get into a pattern, get into a play, a set play.
Poirier enters the zone, poked away from him, tried to get it to Holt, but Colgate, that was enough for the touch-up. So we get the whistle, and now Maine will get another power play.
Yeah, after a successful kill, they go right back on the power play with their opportunity to wrestle the lead away. And coach is going to talk to him a little bit about what he wants and see who he sends out to get the all-important face-off.
The power play is brought to you by Versant Power, powering communities in northern and eastern Maine since 1924. That is the Colgate captain, Daniel Panetta, in the penalty box for hooking. At the 9:33 mark of the third period, Maine will put out its top power play unit, of course, minus Josh Nadeau, who is out with an injury. Fowler works it to Holtz. And the wrist shot by Poirier just missed. Scott threw his legs on the backhand, able to get it to Friel in the corner, who gets caved in. Holt to Scott. Thomas Friel. Knocked away, though, but held in. Good play there. Now it's out front. Max Scott couldn't shoot it.
Hot pass, not in a good area. Unable to handle it. Good idea, though.
Friel. Run into the boards by Schneider. 1:20 left on the power play. Thomas Friel has a goal tonight. It was a power play goal. Poirier, he has the other goal at even strength, has it blocked. Poirier continuing to battle. Fowler pitchforks it forward. Now Holt at the blue line. Brendan Holt, left point. 56 seconds on the power play. Across, it was tipped by Scott, but stopped by Takis. Norland leaning on the main player. Holt has it back, goes to the top of the slot. Poirier back to Holt. Brandon Holt skates into it. Poirier one-timer. Takis reads it and stops it.
Good job by Holt to keep the puck alive. And Poirier fed him. It was a little bit of a fumble there for Holt, but he kept it in the zone and then slides it back for the one-timer to Poirier. Watch as Poirier peels away, goes to the soft area, and gets separation, and Holt does a good job just sending it right back over to him. That's what they want to try to set up, that cross-ice pass, get the goaltender moving laterally, get a good one-timer.
32 seconds on the power play now. Russell. It's the second unit on Russell. Wrister, that one didn't get through, and it's found and cleared by Napier. 18 more seconds on the power play. Oh boy, yes he is. He was down behind the play.
Yeah. I think it was Lipinski in on top of him. Let's get another look at what happened there, but he fell back awkwardly. I don't know if he took a stick in the midsection or something. Let's just get another look as Holt rotates to the middle of the ice. That's Lipinski. He falls back on him awkwardly. Yeah, so might have pulled a muscle or a groin or.
Yeah, at least he twisted something in some way that hurt for sure. Looks like
he's in though.
Yeah, he got caved. It looked like it was his right leg to me that was kind of caved in underneath him as Lipinski fell on top of him because the Colgate defender pushed him back into his own netminder. 16 more seconds on the main power play. Brought to you by Versant Power. It's Russell through center. Scholey. Battle for the puck. And it just squirts out to center as we go back to 5-on-5. Maine now 1 for 4 on the power play tonight. 8:18 and counting to go. Third period. 2-2 score between Colgate and Maine. Both goals by Jack Brandt for the Raiders in the first period. Thomas Friel in the second, and Justin Poirier here in the third. Russell, great move! Can't get the shot to the goal, and it's Panetta. Stick handling. Turns around, fires in on Boya from the red line. He gives to Coughlin, who twists away from Nagel. Up to the center ice line for Gerrois. Gerrois looking for Pichette, and he's robbed by Takis.
What a save by Takis. Nice feed across to Pichette on the doorstep. Oh, man. Saw a goal all the way, but great save by Takis.
7:38 left in the third. It's 2-2. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Oakhurst Dairy. Kindness, goodness, Maineness. Learn more at oakhurstdairy.com. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Down East Orthopedic Associates, the official orthopedic provider of the Black Bears. And tonight's game is brought to you by Pepper's Landing. Check out their lunch, dinner, and gluten-free menu at pepperslanding.com or stop by one of their 3 locations in Old Town, Brunswick, and Ogunquitz. Andrew Takis making a big glove save on Thomas Pichette from the doorstep right before we stepped away to keep it 2-2. Maine won the draw in the offensive zone. Jurasevich got that one to the front. Peluso's pass went all the way through. And it is a save made that time on Newharth by Boya as Wainwright got it back through the slot. Look out, that one was going wide. Hit Jurasevich, got closer to the net, but still missed.
This is what you worry about, a weird bounce, and Maine was the beneficiary of a weird bounce on the Poirier goal, but at this stage of the hockey game, strange things can happen in a tight checking game like we're seeing right here, and that time the puck bounced off, I think, the helmet of Frank Jurasevich and just went over the top of the Maine goal.
Around it goes again to Owen Newharth. Maine able to keep it alive for the moment. It continues to pinball, and finally Colgate able to clear. Peterson sends right back in again. Newmeyer to Fernandez. A little out of the reach of Wainwright. Peterson to Holtz. Holt finds Friel, deflected away from him, but Pichette kept it in. Tried to center, but Newmeyer again cut it off. It bounds out front, saved by Takis there on Calafieri. And it's Holtz dropping off for Lipinski. Jaden Lipinski back to Holtz. Holt wrister, doesn't make it through. It's tapped across the slot, and nobody for Maine can get there.
Yeah, nobody on that side, unfortunately. Overloaded on the left wing side, and unfortunately the puck squirts through to the right.
Peterson enters himself, sends around. Malbuff is first to it, but it's taken over by Scott. Russell back behind the goal, hit hard. Poirier works back for Coughlin. Chabrier from the right point, trying to shake the pressure of LaBelle, throws it in front, pinballs, and ends up just wide.
I don't think Max Scott knew where it was. Had his hands kind of tied up, it's at his feet.
Scott on it again. Panetta hits him to the boards. Coughlin on the pinch, deflects to Colgate, and it's cleared by Doucette. LaBelle, Panetta, that's offside against the Raiders.
Whew, entertaining third period coming down the wire. 5:06 left, 2-2 hockey game. Maine clocked 30 shots in this game so far, and a lot of them have come here in the third period.
Come back and see the conclusion of regulation. This is Hockey East on ESPN+. Hammond Lumber Company is a fourth-generation, family-owned company with 34 locations and over 1,200 employees across Maine and New Hampshire. For more information, stop in or visit them online at hammondlumber.com. The Maine-New Hampshire Border Battle, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, is the hottest rivalry in college sports. Visit goblackbears.com/border battle for updates and special offers all season long. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. And the Northeast Driving School, the #1 driving school in the greater Bangor area, online at bangor-driving-school.com. Face off right in front of the Maine bench. It's 2-2 between the 10th-ranked Maine Black Bears and the Colgate Raiders. Colgate won last night 3-2 to spoil the homecoming vibe. Maine trying to get it back a little bit and split the series. Trying to join the football team who beat Elon today rather convincingly across the parking lot at Alphons Stadium, 35-14. For their 4th win in a row after starting 0-4.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And the way they started, I thought, man, this is going to be a long season. But, man, they have really righted the ship. And an impressive win today. Put up 35 points against Elon.
Pichette tried to center it, hit the back of the net with it. Holt, puck hopped on him a little bit. Now Colgate able to sky that one, and Reed Dick, the backup goalie tonight, last night's starter, with the glove catch.
Well, it's setting up to a similar ending to what we saw last night, one of the most entertaining ends to a hockey game that you'll ever see. Maine just did everything but score. Of course, Colgate had the lead, and it was 3-2 and ended that way, but this game 2-2 could go either way. But you know, Maine's energy here in the third period, I like their compete level that we talked about was so important. They seem to have limited the number of mistakes here in the third period, and let's see if they get rewarded for all the hard work.
Owen Fowler, left circle. Peterson coming downhill, his shot attempt blocked. Fowler again, right circle, put that one way up onto the netting above the glass. Martin, surplus and salvage with 13 locations throughout Maine. You'll never have to say, I should have bought it when I saw it at Martin's.
I thought this puck went straight out, but apparently Sullivan got a little piece of it as Fowler shoveled this into the netting, but apparently enough of Sullivan's stick got it, so this is an offensive zone faceoff for Maine. He sends out the Lipinski line.
Yeah, it might be a bit of a break for Maine there. Friel, leaned on by Norland. Lipinski down there as well, lending his big frame to the battle. Still loose in skates.
Well, look at the tight grouping of the sweaters, the maroon sweaters. I mean, there's all 5 guys right in that corner below the faceoff.
Worked its way out front, and Takis dives on top of it just ahead of Chabrier.
That's a good job by Maine with all of the defensive structure right around you. They still come away with the puck, get it to the net front. Good work there by Lipinski using his body. Throws it to the net front as Holt comes down from the left point position, or Chabrier, I should say. Looking for some loose change as Thomas Friel there, also looking for a rebound, and Maine floods the slot area. But it starts with getting pucks to the net, and there's no reason to not do that. I mean, that's the right play. At this stage of the hockey game, you just don't know what's going to happen. So pucks and bodies to the net, always.
Norland up the boards to Schneider for the clearance. Maine has it back at center. Newmeyer stepped up, though, to take it away from Russell. Wainwright gets it back deep. Coughlin on it first. Chabrier, Russell. Charlie Russell batted in by Justin Poirier. Scott will be first to it. Max Scott banks for Chabrier. He catches. Chabrier blocked down by Newmeyer.
Yeah, to play over on the other side to Luke Coughlin, but elected to take it up the same side of the ice.
Poirier shoots back in. Russell was in ahead of the shoot-in, though, so he'll retreat and Maine will change. Colgate gets it back in. Boya handles behind the net. Frank Jurasevich. Pichette swatted away from him, though. Sullivan brings in with some speed, but his attempt goes wide. Komarov up the boards, not out. Napier to Nagel. Napier lost his footing. Pichette takes the puck. Thomas Pichette, but Napier, the experienced defenseman, gets back and is able to make the play.
Well, he doesn't panic, and he's a big guy with long strides. He's able to get right back into position. I thought there for a second Pichette may have gotten steps on him, but good recovery by Napier.
Under 2 minutes to play in the third period. We are knotted at 2. Last time these two teams played a 2-game series at Alfond Arena 2 years ago. We had a tie on the last night of that series too. Maine won in a shootout. It was back 2 seasons ago in the 23-24 season. Maine won the first night. Puck's loose here. Grab, but brought in offside. This game is brought to you in part by the Fitch Company, electrical and control systems engineering, and a proud partner of the University of Maine Black Bears. Jaden Lipinski against Easton Wainwright on the face-off. Colgate eventually controls and gets it into the main end. Schneider to Dadier. Simone Dadier to Newmeyer. That one blocked down by Calafieri. Lipinski gets it around Newmeyer, but good play by Norland to bail his defense partner out. Dadier shoots it in as we're under a minute left in the third. Holtz rims around. Calafieri gets there. Lipinski skates on. But Colgate has it back, and Nagel clears. Coughlin turning back ahead again. It tumbles behind the Colgate net. Michael Newmeyer to Napier. Cutting it off was Chabrier. Nagel tries to tap it back up the boards. Russell had his stick tied up. It makes its way toward the middle. Good job by Sullivan to knock his man away from it. That was Poirier. Brandon Chabrier, 8 seconds left in regulation. He tried to shoot it in. It ends up on the Colgate bench.
Well, they just don't allow him to gain the red line, and Chabrier's on his backhand anyway, and from that angle and that leverage, it's going to go out of the rink, and that's exactly what happened. 6.9 seconds left. Center ice face-off. Unlikely to get an offensive opportunity for either team, but you just never know. That is enough time.
Maine taps it forward. Colgate gets a hold of it, and they will retreat and will play overtime in the series finale at Alfond Arena tonight.
Sure, non-conference. If you're playing on the road, if you're Colgate, you're happy with settling for going to overtime. You got to be happy if you're Colgate. The way they played this weekend against the 10th ranked team in the country, the Maine Black Bears. If you're Maine, you're looking to get some kind of, learn from your mistakes. The mistakes didn't cost you so badly that now you're in position to win in overtime. This would be huge for this young team if they could come away with a win, even if it is in overtime.
So Maine will head to overtime for the second time this year, as will Colgate. For both teams, that resulted in a tie, and both teams ended up losing the ensuing shootout. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll come right back for the OT. You are watching Hockey East on ESPN+. We return to the Twin City Tire and Service broadcast booth for overtime. Maine Black Bears and the Colgate Raiders knotted at 2. So 5 minutes of 3-on-3 overtime. If no one scores, the game ends in a tie, and then the teams will decide whether we have a shootout or not, since this is a non-league game. Maine controls. Russell for Holtz. Had to reach back to reel it in. Holt behind the net and try to go to Russell with it. He does, but Maine will retreat. You'll see this a lot in 3-on-3. Russell brings back in, tries to get around Newmeyer. Russell was good at shielding the puck. He gets taken down. Newmeyer lost his stick. No call in the play, but it's Scott with it. Max Scott scores! Scott's first goal as a Black Bear is a game winner!
Well, once Newmeyer loses his stick, now the advantage is for Maine. They keep their feet moving. Max Scott keeps the play alive. Charlie Russell, now he goes right to the net from the dot, fires, and this puck just squeezes through the pads of Andrew Takis. Maine wins. What a tremendous comeback for this club. Struggling to find their identity. They keep with it. They keep working. And Max Scott, I mean, he struggled too to find the back of the net in this early part of the season. He gets rewarded for the hard work. And this is a very gratifying finish for this young Black Bears team as they overcome the deficit and work through their problems, overcome the mistakes that they made. The mistakes didn't cost them so badly that it took them completely out of the game. They stayed with it and found enough to tie the hockey game. The great finish by Poirier, and now we go into overtime. Hard work by Russell and Scott, and you see the result. This is what this team needed. They needed this so badly, and you know, it's a tough result for Colgate because they played a tremendous game. They were really good last night. They were good again tonight, but Maine found enough to overcome.
And the Black Bears, with the win, go back above the 500 mark at 3-2-1. Our post-game show is brought to you by Bangor Savings Bank. At Bangor Savings Bank, you matter more. We're here to support your goals, your journey, and what matters most to you. Visit Bangor.com or stop by to experience banking with heart. Bangor Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Max Scott and Andrew Takis having a nice little embrace there after the play. Max Scott is a transfer. He used to play in the ECAC with Colgate. He played at Brown for the first 2 seasons of his career. His older brother Harrison Scott followed a very similar path, playing 2 seasons at Bentley before transferring to Maine before his final 2 seasons. And now Max finally has his first goal as a Black Bear. Right now, though, let's go to the third member of our crew, Jack Webb, to talk with Maine head coach Ben Barr.
Coach Barr, your team comes back from a 2-0 deficit to win it in overtime. What do you make of their effort to come back?
I'm proud of the guys' effort. You know, like the last couple games, it's been a grind for us, and tonight was a grind. It wasn't pretty, but you know, like they showed some character.
What are you hoping your team learns from this weekend series?
I just hope we find a way to find our identity a little bit. You know, like at times we go, and then it's a penalty, and then it's a turnover. You know, where we have momentum and then we take momentum from ourselves at times. So it's a learning process for us right now, and you know, but it's proud of how hard they worked.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Jeff?
Thank you so much, Jack Webb. So Ben Barr pretty happy after that one. You talked earlier on in the broadcast that you felt like nothing had been going right since Maine blew the 2-goal lead late at Quinnipiac in the first game of that series. Well, erasing an early 2-goal lead tonight may go a long way to helping.
100% right, Jeff. And, you know, sometimes, you know, you've got to face the adversity. I said before, this game just, you know, it can reveal character. You've got to build character in this game, and you've got to be willing to continue to work. Even though things may not be going your way, they never let the game get out of control. That 2-goal lead, we often talk about it, how hard it is to defend. Maine clawed their way back into this, found enough in the third period, found their game really in the third period against relentless pressure from Colgate. They were aggressive on their forecheck. They were aggressive on the penalty kill. They maintained possession in the offensive zone when they had the puck, and I thought Maine did a good job to limit high-quality scoring chances in the third period, and they generated more of their own. And ultimately, they stayed with it long enough. Now that you got a room full of believers now. Okay, now they see how this works. You stay with it. You don't hang your head. You stay disciplined, and eventually good things happen. And it's so gratifying to see them come away with a win. Although they had to go to overtime, at least they found a way to win. And this could go a long way to to rebuilding that culture that we talk about.
And Colgate, of course, drops to 2-3-1. I think if you told Mike Harder and his staff before the weekend you're going to leave Orono with a split, they'd probably be happy with that.
I would think so.
Maybe not in the way it transpired tonight, though, to waste a 2-goal effort by Jack Brandt and a really good goaltending performance by Andrew Takis. Ultimately, they end up with just one win.
Yeah, I agree with that, Jeff, 100%. And I think the final shot tally for Maine was 34, so they really peppered Andrew Takis, and he played terrifically well. That save that he made on I think it was, trying to remember, was it Pichette?
Pichette, yep.
Yeah, I mean, that was a beautiful save, and I thought, wow, that's the kind of save that preserves the lead, and you think that, this is destined to Maine dropping 2. Destiny's going to be Maine's going to drop 2 this weekend, but they clawed back. This will be interesting, this week when the coaches are reviewing this tape. I think they're going to like a lot of things that they saw, and they're going to show these guys some of those things, and they're going to like what they see, and they're going to see that it isn't the hero play that wins hockey games. It's the team play that wins hockey games, and fortunately it worked out tonight, and let's see if they carry that over into next weekend.
Yeah, because next weekend is the start of Hockey East play for the Maine Black Bears, and they'll open up with the 4th-ranked Boston University Terriers for a 2-game series that will kick off on Halloween night back here at Alfond Arena. That has now become a 7:30 p.m. start time. That's been changed here this week. So
you have time to go trick-or-treating.
Indeed, you have a little bit of extra time to go trick-or-treating, so that is certainly a good thing. But the Maine Black Bears able to earn the split with the Colgate Raiders tonight. Our next broadcast on ESPN+, the women's soccer regular season finale in America East. It's a border battle game against the New Hampshire Wildcats from the New Balance Soccer Complex, 6 p.m. on Thursday. Be here on ESPN+. Now, for our entire crew, for Ryan and Marissa downstairs, everybody else behind the scenes, for my broadcast partners Mike Toole and Jack Webb, I'm Jeff Mannix. Your final score in overtime, the Maine Black Bears 3 and the Colgate Raiders 2. Thanks for watching Hockey East on ESPN+.